My name is Dr. Mack Davis. For the last 23 years I have sat knee to knee with patients who believe their nightly eye burn was just part of getting old. I've watched retired teachers, war veterans, and marathoners alike cup their palms over their sockets in the dim light of my exam room and confess the same sentence in a whisper, "Doctor, it feels like ground glass." Tonight I'm speaking directly to you, because you may be one blink away from irreversible damage. Let me paint the scene that arrives in my office every single morning. A 71-year-old grandmother named Ruth shuffles in at 7:45 a.m. holding a flashlight because daylight stings like vinegar. She apologizes for being early, then apologizes for crying, then apologizes for apologizing. When I ask when the burning started, she says, "About 3 months ago, right after I finished that online photography course." She chuckles, but the sound catches in her throat because the pain is no longer funny. Her corneas show the same microscopic map I see in pilots, truckers, and coders, thousands of tiny fissures where the tear film used to sit. Without that glossy layer, every blink is like dragging sandpaper across raw marble. Left alone, those fissures deepen. Infections set in. Ulcers blossom. Scar tissue forms. And once scar tissue clouds the visual axis, no laser, no lens implant can give Ruth her sunsets back. I filed her chart under preventable vision loss, stage 2. She still had hope, but only just. I refuse to write the same chart for you. So let's rewind to your living room at 9:07 p.m., the exact minute the sandstorm usually hits. You've powered down the television, yet the screen's ghostly after-image flickers inside your eyelids like a strobe light. You try a long blink. Nothing. You tilt your head toward the ceiling fan, and the breeze that once felt pleasant now scrapes across your eyes like a dry ice cube. You reach for the bottle of artificial tears on the coffee table, squeeze, feel the cold drop roll down your cheek rather than coat your eye, and wonder why relief lasts shorter than a sneeze. Here is the silent war you're fighting. Basal tear production drops roughly 10% every decade after 40. By 70, you're running on fumes. Meibomian glands, tiny oil factories along your lash line, begin to atrophy. Without their oil, tears evaporate in under 3 seconds instead of the healthy 10. Blue light from screens triggers free radical storms inside the cornea, literally poking microscopic holes in the antioxidant shield your eyes once had. Systemic dehydration from blood pressure pills, coffee, and wine turns what little tear fluid you have into salty syrup that burns like acid. Let those 4 facts sink in. This isn't dry eye. This is a multi-front attack on the only pair of windows you will ever own. And every night you go to bed without repairing the breach, you roll the dice on scar formation that can't be undone. But tonight the dice land differently. Below is the exact 4-food protocol I now prescribe instead of drops. None of these items require a prescription, none cost more than a single copay, and all of them work synergistically while you sleep, the 8-hour window when the cornea heals fastest. Ingredient 1, frozen blueberries, the rebuilders, amount, half a cup, frozen solid. Mechanism, anthocyanins cross the blood-retinal barrier within 30 minutes and literally plug oxidative bullet holes in the corneal epithelium. A 2022 Tufts study showed a 34% drop in inflammatory cytokines after a single nightly dose for 14 days. Pro tip, let them thaw on your tongue like slow-release ice chips. The temperature drop also constricts surface blood vessels, reducing that infernal burning sensation within seconds. Ingredient 2, walnut halves, the sealants, amount, 6 halves, raw or lightly toasted. Mechanism, ALA, plant-based omega-3, reconstructs the lipid layer of the tear film. Think of it as pouring fresh varnish over cracked wood. Meanwhile, zinc escorts vitamin A directly to goblet cells that line the conjunctiva, boosting mucin production, the sticky layer that keeps tears clinging to the eye instead of sliding off like rain on glass. Pro tip: chew each walnut 20 times. Saliva activates lipase enzymes that predigest the oil, speeding absorption by up to 40%. Ingredient 3, kiwi with skin, the scaffolders, amount, 1 ripe kiwi, scrubbed under warm water, sliced thin. Mechanism: the fuzzy skin contains 3 times more lutein than the flesh alone, while the pulp delivers 117% of your daily vitamin C. Together they rebuild collagen fibrils that act like microscopic rebar, knitting corneal microtears closed overnight. Pro tip: slice and let the pieces breathe for 2 minutes. Exposure to air activates actinidin, an enzyme that doubles vitamin C bioavailability. Ingredient 4, warm almond milk with nutmeg, the night CAP, amount, 6 to 8 ounces, gently warmed to body temperature. Add a pinch, no more than 1/8 of a teaspoon, of freshly grated nutmeg. Mechanism: magnesium relaxes the ciliary muscle that spasms from screen fatigue, while vitamin E diffuses across the corneal epithelium, acting as an antioxidant reservoir for the next day's blue light assault. Nutmeg contains myristicin, a mild sedative that accelerates deep-wave sleep, the exact phase when corneal stem cells replicate fastest. Pro tip: sip in complete darkness. Even a sliver of light drops nighttime melatonin by 50%, stalling repair. The 90-second moon smoothie method: if chewing at night feels cumbersome, drop all 4 ingredients into a blender for 6 seconds, just long enough to marry textures, not oxidize nutrients. Pour into a small glass jar, drink half tonight, half tomorrow night. Each sip still carries the full synergistic payload. What to expect? Night 1, the gritty sensation fades within 30 minutes of finishing the snack. Eyes feel cool for the first time in weeks. Week 1, morning crusting diminishes, you stop reaching for drops during TV commercials. Week 2, halos around headlights shrink, night driving confidence returns. Week 4, corneal staining tests in my office shows 60% fewer microabrasions. Month 3, most patients cancel their prescription refill appointment because they simply don't need it anymore. Your immediate action plan: pause this audio, walk to your kitchen, and place the 4 items on the counter. Set a nightly phone alarm for 9:30 p.m. labeled "Save My Sight." After your first successful week, send a 1-word comment below: vision. That single word tells our algorithm to keep this video circulating so more grandmothers like Ruth never reach stage 2. Closing. The cornea is the only tissue in the human body that heals faster when you do absolutely nothing, except give it the right raw materials. Tonight, while the world sleeps, your eyes will silently weld their cracks shut, layer by layer, drop by drop, using nothing fancier than blueberries, walnuts, kiwi, and warm almond milk. I'm Dr. Mack Davis. Your eyes carried you through every sunrise you've ever seen. Tonight, carry them back. I'll see you, clearly, tomorrow.